The American dream. For decades, it's been defined by hard work, upward mobility, and that one powerful symbol of success, owning a home. A place to call your own. A place to raise your family. A foundation to build wealth and security. But today, that dream is vanishing before our eyes. More and more Americans are discovering that no matter how hard they work, buying a home feels impossible. Why has the cornerstone of the American dream, homeownership, slipped out of reach? And what does that mean for the future of the country? Think about this. In the 1970s, a typical home in the United States cost around 3 to 4 times the average annual salary. That meant if you worked hard, saved responsibly, and had a steady job, you could afford a home by your late 20s or early 30s. Fast forward to today. In many cities, that same home costs 8, 10, even 12 times the average salary. Meanwhile, wages have barely budged when adjusted for inflation. For young Americans, saving enough for a down payment doesn't just feel difficult. It feels like chasing a mirage that keeps moving further away. A recent survey revealed that more than half of millennials believe they will never be able to afford a home. Think about that. A whole generation already giving up on a dream their parents took for granted. So how did we get here? The reasons are complex, but together they form a perfect storm. The United States is short, very short, on housing. After the 2008 financial crash, home builders pulled back. Construction slowed dramatically, and many small builders went out of business. When demand bounced back, there simply weren't enough homes on the market. Experts say we are now short by 4 to 5 million housing units nationwide. That's a massive gap, and it pushes prices higher with every year. Then there's Wall Street. In the past, single-family homes were bought by families. Today, they're being bought by hedge funds, private equity firms, and corporate landlords. These investors swoop in with all-cash offers, buying entire blocks of homes at once. Families can't compete. Take Phoenix, Atlanta, or Las Vegas. In some neighborhoods, as many as 1 in 5 homes is owned by a corporate investor. And once they own it, they don't sell. They rent. That means fewer homes for families to buy, higher rents, and soaring property values. For years, historically low interest rates made mortgages affordable. But as inflation surged, the Federal Reserve responded by raising rates to the highest levels in decades. A home that might have cost you $1,200 a month a few years ago now costs $2,000 or more. Same house, same neighborhood, just higher borrowing costs. For millions, that monthly payment is simply out of reach. And then there's zoning and local regulations. In cities across America, restrictive zoning laws limit the construction of affordable housing or multifamily units. Suburbs often fight to maintain single-family zoning, which blocks denser development. The result? Less housing, higher prices, and fewer options for first-time buyers. This crisis has created a deep generational divide. Baby boomers, who bought homes decades ago at affordable prices, are sitting on mountains of equity. Their wealth has skyrocketed simply because of timing. Meanwhile, Millennials and Gen Z are struggling. They're burdened with student loan debt, rising rents, and stagnant wages. For them, buying a home isn't just difficult, it feels impossible. The result is a growing wealth gap. Homeownership has always been the primary way Americans build and pass down wealth. If young people are locked out, that wealth doesn't get transferred. Instead, it concentrates with older generations and corporate landlords. But let's go beyond the numbers and talk about real life. Families are delaying having children because they can't afford enough space. Young couples are moving back in with their parents, not out of choice, but necessity. Professionals, teachers, firefighters, nurses are being priced out of the very neighborhoods they serve. Picture this. A teacher who educates the children of a community can't afford to live in that community. A firefighter who protects a neighborhood can't afford to buy there. These aren't just isolated stories, they're happening nationwide. And it's not only about ownership. Renting has become a trap too. Unlike a mortgage, rent doesn't build equity. It drains families month after month. Rising rents eat away at savings, making it even harder to save for a down payment. It's a vicious cycle, one that many families never escape. This housing crisis isn't just about individuals. It reshapes entire communities. In once middle-class neighborhoods, longtime residents are being pushed out by gentrification. In cities from Los Angeles to New York, homelessness has surged, even among people with full-time jobs. America is dividing into two nations, those who own property and see their wealth multiply, and those who rent, watching opportunity slip further away. The American dream was supposed to unite people. Instead, housing is becoming the great divide. So what's the way out? Some argue the government needs to step in with bold action, affordable housing programs, subsidies for first-time buyers, and reforms to restrictive zoning laws. Others believe corporate landlords should be limited in how many homes they can scoop up. Still others say the only true fix is wage growth that keeps pace with the cost of living. But let's be honest, housing policy is one of the most contentious issues in America. Developers, banks, investors, and politicians all have a stake in the system as it stands. Change is hard. And while the debate rages on, ordinary families are falling behind. At its core, this crisis forces us to ask, what happens to the American dream if homeownership is no longer attainable? For generations, owning a home wasn't just about shelter. It was about belonging, independence, and pride. It was proof that you'd made it. Without that anchor, what replaces it? What does the American dream look like when a whole generation feels permanently shut out? The disappearing American dream isn't about laziness. It's not about people failing to work hard enough. It's about a system that no longer rewards hard work the way it once did. If nothing changes, America risks creating a permanent renter class, a generation that never gets to build wealth, never gets to plant roots, and never gets to pass down security to their children. But history shows us that when enough people demand change, change does come. Whether through policy reforms, cultural shifts, or community action, the future isn't written yet. But time is running out. The American dream doesn't have to disappear. But saving it will take more than nostalgia. It will take bold action, fresh ideas, and the courage to admit the system is broken. The question is, will America rise to the challenge? Or will the dream of homeownership fade into a story we tell about the past? Thank you for watching News Nexus. If you found this video insightful, please like, share, and subscribe. And most importantly, join the conversation in the comments. Do you believe homeownership is still possible in America? Or has it become an impossible dream?